Chapter 5 My Big Mouth. It just so happens that I know of the perfect way to get sent to the principal's office. All you have to do is put a tag on the teacher's chair. My friend Billy told me he did this once and he got sent to the principal's office. I waited until recess, and Andrea and Emily ran off to play with the girls. Then I told the plan to my best friend, Ryan and Michael. That's genius, exclaimed my best friend Ryan. What if Miss Daisy gets hurt? Asked Michael. She won't get hurt, I told him. She'll jump up so fast that we don't hardly feel it. So at the end of recess, the three of us snuck back into the classroom. It was empty. Miss Daisy was eating in the teacher's room. Ryan pulled the tag out of the bulletin board and put it on Miss Daisy's chair. Then we ran out to the playground just as the end of recess bell was ringing. When we filed back into the class, Ryan, Michael, and I could barely look at one another because we were afraid we'd bust out laughing. I could hardly wait to see the look on Miss Daisy's face when she sat on her chair. Well, when Miss Daisy sat down, the most amazing thing happened. Nothing. She didn't jump up or anything. She just sat there. Me and Ryan and Michael looked at one another. How could she not feel that? She must have buns of steel. Ryan whispered, She's like Superman. Then I realized that I had forgotten to tell Ryan something very important. When you put a tag on the teacher's chair, you're supposed to put the tag a little bit on one side. When you put it in the middle of the chair, the tag it doesn't have any target to hit, if you know what I mean. Miss Daisy got up to math, not even realizing there was a tag in her butt. And she turned around to write on the chalkboard. We could see the tag was just stuck there, hanging in the middle of her backside. Me and Ryan and Michael thought we were going to die trying to keep ourselves from laughing. It was probably the funniest thing that had ever happened in the history of the world. You should have been there. Excuse me, said Andrea, raising her hand to ruin everybody's fun like always. Miss Daisy, I think there's something stuck to your skirt. Miss Daisy turned around and pulled out the tag. Who did this? She demanded. I did, Ryan bragged. Go to principal's office, Ryan. All right, Ryan whispered, pumping his fist. I'll be back in a few minutes with a candy bar. Is there anyone else who wants to go to the principal's office? Miss Daisy asked. I do, said Michael. Can I go again? I said. Hey, I asked first. Michael complained. Quite. Both of you. Miss Daisy pretended nothing unusual had happened and went back to her lesson. But I saw her look at her chair carefully before she sat down again. A few minutes later, Ryan came back to the classroom. Mr. Klutz was with him. So did he give you a candy bar? I whispered excitedly when Ryan sat down. No, Ryan whispered back. When I told him that I thought he would give me a candy bar like he gave one to you. He got really upset. He told me he was going to call my parents and have them come in to talk. about what happened. I think we're all in big trouble. Oh man, I decided that maybe it wouldn't be such a good idea to be best friends with Ryan anymore. I should have kept my big mouth shut about the candy bar. Chapter 6. The Chocolate Party. When I thought about it, putting a tag on Miss Daisy's chair was a pretty dumb thing to do. Mr. Klutz went to the front of the class. I was sure he was going to bring all of us to the torture chamber in the basement, but he didn't look all that mad, considering that what we had done. It has come to my attention that some of the students at our school need a little extra incentive to behave and work their hardest. Mr. Klutz said, "Do you know what the word incentive means?" An incentive is a reward that encourages a person to work harder to achieve something. Andrea announced, all proud of herself. She thinks she knows everything. I hate her. Very good, Andrea, said Mr. Klutz. What sort of incentive might bring out the best work in the students of our school? You could give us each $1,000,000, suggested Michael. You could make summer vacation last all year long, I said. How about getting rid of the homework? Asked Ryan. Miss Daisy went to the front of the room. Mr. Klutz can't do those things, she said. But remember when all the students in our school read 1,000,000 pages in the books, and as a reward, we turned the gym into a video game arcade? That was quite successful. Mr. Klutz even dressed up in a gorilla suit for the evening, if I recall. How about a chocolate party? Suggested Andrea. Yeah, everybody yelled. Said Miss Daisy. I like that idea. Will got very excited because if there is one thing that just about everybody loves, it's chocolate. Kids started shouting out things we could have at the party, like chocolate cupcakes and chocolate fudge and chocolate bunnies and chocolate ice creams and on and on and on. But wait a minute. Mr. Klutz said, what are you going to do to earn this chocolate party? We could read another 1,000,000 pages, suggested Ryan. We did that already, Emily said. How about 1,000,000 math problems? I said. What a wonderful idea, Miss Daisy beamed. Ever since we taught her how to add and subtract, Miss Daisy loved math. Math is hard, Ryan said. How about 100 math problems? 1,000,000 math problems, Mr. Klutz insisted. That's my final offer. Take it or leave it. We'll take it, we all yelled. Agreed. If the kids in our school do 1,000,000 math problems, I'll throw a party with so much chocolate you'll be sick for a week. I'll bring the bonbons, Miss Daisy volunteered. Hooray, we all yelled, except for Ryan, who looked all mad. I'm not going to spend my free time doing math, Ryan said. I hate math. I wouldn't do extra math if you kissed the pig on the lips. Okay, as an added incentive, Mr. Klutz said, on the night of the party, I will kiss a pig on the lips. Have a nice day. All right, what a cool, wacky guy Mr. Klutz is. He's the coolest principal in the history of the world. Chapter 7. Teachers for a Day. The news about the big chocolate party blew through the school like a hurricane. Even kids who were allergic to chocolate wanted to go, just so that they could see Mr. Klutz kiss a pig on the lips. Where is he going to get a pig? Ryan asked during lunch the next day. He could try AJ's house, Andrea said. That's so funny I forgot to laugh, I said. I'm not entirely sure that pigs have leaves, said Emily. Of course they have leaves, I insisted. If they don't have leaves, how could they whistle? You know, Ryan pointed out, Mr. Klutz is just trying to trick us into doing lots of math problems. That's why we're having a chocolate party. Who cares? Michael said. As long as we get the chocolate. I think that only students who do math problems should be allowed to come to the chocolate party, said Andrea. Could it possibly be any more boring? I asked her. As it turned out, everybody was doing math problems. The whole school started doing math problems like crazy. Even Ryan, you would have thought that Mr. Klutz was giving us gold and diamonds instead of chocolates. I did math problems for 20 minutes last night. Ryan bragged while we were waiting for Miss Daisy after recess. Oh, yeah? Michael said. Well, I did math problems for 40 minutes last night. 40 is twice as much as 20, see? I just did another math problem right there. Well, I did math problems for an hour last night, I said. That's 50 whole minutes. An hour is 60 minutes, dumbhead, Andrea told me. I was going to tell her that 60 Minutes was a TV show my parents watched, but Mr. Klutz suddenly burst into our classroom. He told us that Miss Daisy had a dentist appointment and we would have a substitute teacher for the rest of the afternoon, Mr. Klutz. We all gasped. You're not a teacher, I told him. I used to be a teacher, he said. I taught for many years before I became a principal. What did you teach? Ryan said. Physics. He said, what's that? Is that like physics? Asked Michael. Mr. Klutz, do you know that this is second grade? Andrea pointed out. Physics is something high school students study. Poppycock, said Mr. Klutz. You're never too young to learn something new. You may find you're smarter than you think. Well, if you say so. Physics is the study of motion and energy and force, he said. For example, if I take a blackboard eraser in a hand and book in the other hand, and I drop them at the same time, which one will hit the floor first? The eraser, I said. It's smaller and lighter, so it'll fall faster. Just like small, light kids run faster than big, heavy kids. No, the book will hit the floor first. Instead, Ryan, bigger and heavier things build up more speed than little things. I think they'll both hit the floor at the same time. Let's do a test, said Mr. Klutz. We put the eraser in his left hand and the paperback book in his right hand. Then he climbed on top of Miss Daisy's class and held both objects up in the air. Then he dropped them. The eraser and the book hit the ground at the exact same moment. I told you so, said Andrea. I think I hate her more every day. According to the laws of physics, all objects fall at the exact same rate, Mr. Klutz told us. See, you're learning physics in the second grade. Wait a minute, said Michael. That's not fair test because the eraser and the book are almost same size and weight. Yeah, Ryan said. Try it with different objects. Okay, Mr. Klutz said as he picked up a pencil off Miss Daisy's desk, and he went over to a windowsill where Miss Daisy kept her collection of stuffed animals. He picked one of the giraffes that was almost as big as I am. Would this be a fair test? He asked. Yeah, we all shouted. Now, which object do you think will hit the floor first? He said as he climbed up on top of Miss Daisy's desk again. The pencil, some of us shouted. The giraffe, other kids yelled. I think they will both hit the floor at the same instant, said Andrea. Okay, let's do the test, said Mr. Klutz, and he raised both his arms in the air. Mr. Klutz put his foot on a crayon that was sitting on Miss Daisy's desk. It rolled a little. His foot slipped. He wobbled for a moment, trying to keep his balance. Then he pitched head first up the desk. Watch out! Crash! When he hit the floor, the pencils and the giraffe went flying, and Mr. Klutz's arms and legs went in different directions. It was just about the funniest thing that ever happened in the history of the world. You should have been there. We all ran over to see if Mr. Klutz was okay. He was holding his leg and moaning. See, Andrea said. All three objects hit the ground at the same time. The pencil, the giraffe, and Mr. Klutz, so I was right. I hate her.